Working. I learned something new today.
Good work.
The only person I haven't heard is Brandon's vocal. I did. Okay, I just needed to hear your vocal.
Check, check, check.
Perfect. Thanks. Yeah, the tracks.
1, 2.
Perfect.
Intro. 2, 3, 4.
Okay, I got signals from
Thank you.
all
I got everybody.
the cameras.
Hey Chuck, do you want me to get some bass shots or no?
Shots of the bass player?
Yeah.
Probably not specifically, but that
Here, if
one
you guys just want to kind of face in, I'll
that
pray
you
in
did,
the sound system here.
it was like
in our ears.
you pulled back
All
and
right.
you had the drummer and the bass
I think we're all
player.
through
That
there.
was fine.
All right. God, thank you for everything that you're doing in our lives, and for all the people that are coming today, and for all that you've done for us, all that you provide for us. And we just pray that we would be really aware of your presence this morning, and that we would be connecting with who you are and with your spirit in this place. And we thank you for all that you do and all that you've done for us. Thank you for our friendships, our relationships, and we just pray that you would be speaking to us this morning, and each person as they walk in this building. And we thank you and pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
All right, 1 minute to go. You all good to go, Chuck?
I'm as good as I ever am to go. Yes.
That sounds great. And Nancy's up there. You good to go?
No, I'm not up here.
Oh, no. We'll have to cancel church.
All right, cameras, production team. Thanks for being here this morning. We got 2 videos to start with, then we're going to go right into praise. So Brandon's intro on that one, you're going to be tight on Brandon. 5, you're going to be ready to go because we're going to go to drums. And then 2, when I call ready 2, you're going to be tight on Brandon. You're going to start a slow zoom out.
Alrighty, we're going into the weekend update in 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go video.
Okay, and then Jason, if you can find a spot to get the through the crowd shots, that would be
Hey
fantastic.
Journey,
on
Michelle
7.
here. I sure hope you guys had a
Got
great
it.
summer.
Kevin,
I
are
can't
you on
believe
stage
it's
or are you back
almost
there?
coming to an
The
end.
rest of you know what to
But
do.
with
Kevin on
that
A
said, we
responding.
have
That's
some exciting stuff happening.
What's up?
On Sunday, September 8th,
Did
we
you
have
decide
our
whether you
fall
were
back
on
at
stage
6.
or
And so
back
there's
here?
a few things
I
I
am on
want to let
stage.
you know about.
Perfect.
We're going to have
All
a
right,
new
I just didn't know what you
sermon
decided.
series
Cool.
on Jesus,
Did you start
Sermon on the
recording?
Mount,
Yep,
coming
we're
up.
recording.
Copy.
We have Base Camp, which is having their back to school bash. So there's going to be bouncy houses and activities for the kids before, during, and after. Our Journey students actually kick off that evening on September 8th, and that's for both middle school and high school at 6 o'clock here at the Commons. And then we have our group sign-up fair. If you are not connected in a group, you're going to be able to meet the leaders and go out these doors and find the group that's the right fit for you and join. And so we have a ton of new groups that are starting, and we're all this year, which is unique, going to be going through the same series
Jimmy,
together
if
called
you,
Practicing the Way. And we're
my
going to
little
go
brain
deep
block
in the
on going
foundations
back
of our
to
faith
worship
and learn to
after
do
the
the
sermon,
things that
and
Jesus
you
did.
could help me remember
And so if
that.
you're not connected, this is
I'll
a
try to remember.
great opportunity for you to jump in and find
just me telling
those
you to
people
remember
and
might
grow
make me
deep in your
remember.
faith. together.
It's definitely gonna
So,
work now.
Again,
Okay.
September 8th, save the date. This is a great opportunity for you to show up and
got
bring
one more
your
video
friends
after this.
and get connected around here at Journey Church. Thanks so much, guys.
This one's 45 seconds. We're going to open up on one. Ian, you got your shot? You happy? Yep. Okay, I can see.
Those seem like two very different questions, Chuck.
Okay. Do you have your shot? And then one, am I happy with it? How's that?
That works.
Okay.
The answer to both of those is yes. That's good.
Alrighty, Brandon's gonna welcome us. Ask people to scoot to the middle. We'll start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Good morning. Welcome. We're excited to have you with us to worship and celebrate this morning.
Okay, 5,
You would
get ready.
stand, and as you do, if
3,
there
I
are
might
any
go to
open
you
spots in the center of
first.
your rows, if you can fill those in.
Jimmy, your light cue's
you're
not
right
fully
next to
triggered.
the person next to you, so we can
The
open
hot
up
sticks
the
are weird.
edges.
I just
as
pulled
the
them out
ushers
because
are
they were
bringing more
being
people
ridiculous in the
to fill
room.
the
I
sections.
guess I didn't
Really
pull them all the way out.
appreciate it.
Yep,
We
there
wanna
we go.
make people
Ready,
feel welcome.
3.
I just
Find
manually pulled them
seats.
since he's
Let's worship
chatting.
together.
Ready,
Copy.
3, take 3.
1,
3's live. Ready, 5,
Intro.
ready,
2,
5,
3,
ready,
4.
5, ready, 5, take 5.
Verse 1.
Ready, 1, take 1. 2, let's go back to your, go tight. Ready, 7, ready, 7, ready, 7, take 7. Ready, 2, take 2. Okay, Ashley, go to your right a little
Verse
bit
2.
slow. Ready, 1. 5, take 5. Ready, 7, take 7. Ready, 1.
Pre-chorus.
Ready, 1, take 1. Ready, 3, ready, 3, ready, 3, take 3. 3, can you pan to your right a little? Ready, 7, take 7. Ready, 1, take 1. 6, you're next. 6, ready, 6,
Verse
6,
3.
take 6. Ready, 1, take 1. 2, you're next. 2, 7, 7, 7,
Verse
take
4.
7. 7's live. 5, take 5. 2, take 2. 6, take 6. 1, take 1. 7, take 7. 2, take 2. 1, take 1. 6, take 6. Ready, 1, take 1. 4, take 4. 7, take 7. 2, take 2. 7, let's go 1, take 1. 4,
Interlude.
take 4. 4's live. Nice job. Thanks for saving me. 1, take 1. 6, take 6. 1, take 1. 2, take 2. Keep going into 7, 7, take 7. 3, take 3. 1, take 1. 7, take 7. 6, take 6. 7, take 7. 1, take 1. 4, 4, 4. Left side room. Take 4.
Drums in.
5, come to you. 5, take 5. 6, take 6. 1, take 1. 7, take 7. 4, take 4. 1, take 1. 5, take 5. Ready, 1, take 1. 7, 2, take 2. 7 singers, 7 singers. 5, take 5. 4, take 4. 7, take 7. 1, take 1. 2, take 2. 7, back to you. 6, take 6. 7, take 7. 1, take 1. 4, coming to you. 4, we're on 1. 4, take 4. Down 4, down 4. 1, 2, take 2. 5, take 5. 6,
Ending.
take 6. All right, ready, 3, take 3.
Again, if you're
1,
just
take
coming
1.
And go ahead and fill in. any
Okay,
open
he did
spaces
this
in your
again. A lot of
rows
people in
as
there.
People are continuing to come in, and we'll be
3,
doing
I'm
this
going to
this
you
fall
next.
because,
Is this
we've had
Rattle?
a
Yep,
big
this is
jump in
Rattle.
attendance over the summer, and we really want to make everyone feel welcome.
Okay,
as
we're on
they're
1, we're
coming
on
in, so let's
1.
continue
Ready,
worshiping.
3, take 3. 5, get ready. 5,
1, 2,
ready, 5, ready,
Intro,
5, ready, 5.
2,
We're on 3, we're on
3,
3. Ready,
4.
5, take 5.
intro.
4, give me lead. 4,
Drums in.
take 4. 4's live. 5, we're coming back to you. 4, it's beautiful. Ready, 5, take 5. Okay, we're gonna stay on you. Good job, 5. Okay, focus on your dad. Nice.
Saturday
Oh, I love it. I love it. Ready, 1, take 1. Good job. 2, go back. 7, take 7. 2, ready, 2. Oh, that's a great shot. 7, take 2.
Friday's disappointment.
Yep, keep coming out. 5, you're
Sunday's
next.
empty tune.
5, take 5.
Since when has impossible
Nice.
ever stopped you?
Ready, 1.
Chorus 1.
4, take 4.
This is the sound of dry bones.
7, take 7.
This is the praise make a dead man walk again.
7, or 6, you're live.
Open the grave,
1,
I'm coming out.
take 1.
I'm gonna live again.
5, take 5.
This is the
5, you're
sound
live.
of dry bones
7,
rocking.
Vamp.
take 7. 3, take 3. 1, take 1. 7, coming to you. 7, take 7.
Pentecostal fire.
5,
Something new.
take 5.
You're not
1,
gonna run out
take
of
6, you're next. We'll take 1. Ready, 6, take 6.
resurrection power.
7, take 7. 1, take 1. 5, take 5. 6, take 6. 1, take 1. 4, take 4. 2, come out. 2, take 2. 1, take 1. 7, get the 7. You need the 2 singers for me. We're on 1, 7, take 7. 2, take 2. 6, take 6.
Vamp.
5, take 5. 3, take 3. 1, ready, 1. We're on 3, we're on 3.
Bridge
6,
1.
take 3. 6 is live. 7, take 7. 1, oh, 5. Ready, 5, take 5. 1, take 1. 7, give me 7, you're next. 2, take 2. 7, take 7.
Slowly build.
Ready, 1, take 1. 5, take 5. 1, take 1. 6, take 6. 2, take 2. 7, take 7.
Chorus 2.
Ready, 1, take 1. 4, take 4. Ready, 5, take 5. 1, take 1. 6, take 6. 1, take 1. 7, take 7. 2, take 2. 4, take 4. 1, take 1. 7, no. 2, take 2. 1, take 1. 5, take 5.
Just a reminder, Brandon's gonna talk here.
Okay, 3, take 3, 1, ready 1, ready 1, ready 1, take
Amen.
1.
Right now, we have a church.
Okay, this song is God Problems, so 6, get ready for some keys here. 1,
called
we're on
Talitha
Brandon,
Kuma,
2.
which
Be
means
ready for Tess,
girl rise.
because they
It's
jump.
when Jesus, the girl has died.
We're live on
comes.
1.
Tells her to rise. He says, "Oh no, she's just sleeping." Tells her to rise, and so they.
Okay,
my
4.
friends over there believe
Take
in
4.
miracles.
4 is
and
your
right
live.
now they just texted me
Hold
a
tight
couple
for me
days ago
there.
and said
Perfect.
that it's
A
flooding.
little bit of
there.
movement cadence.
That
Perfect.
Most
Just
of their
doing what
church
you're
will
doing.
lose their houses. It's pretty extreme. It's not something we are feeling here in
1.
the moment right now. But there might be something in your life.
Take
I know
1.
that there's a lot of us that have issues.
5, that's
things that are
beautiful.
only God can help with, and that's what this next song is about. That it's a worship song that praises God in the midst of something that's so hard that we need Him. And God's designed us and made us so that that's when our faith often will grow the most, and it's when we are the weakest and we need Him the most. And so let's sing this song of praise together.
3,
1.
take 3.
2. Intro. 2, 3, 4.
6, take 6. It's a beautiful shot.
Verse
Okay,
1.
we're gonna go to 1. Ready 1, ready 1, take 1.
There's just some problems
7.
only God can fix.
7, take 7.
There'll be some moments.
Okay, 2 going
that
tight,
just
come out
don't
slow.
make
Ready
sense.
2, ready 2, come out, take 2.
I've seen it happen time and time again.
4,
There's just some problems
take 4.
only
Verse
God
2.
can fix.
2, take 2.
There's just some bad
7, you're next.
flesh and blood can
7, 7, take 7.
There will be moments that just don't make
1, take 1.
Can't see it now.
6, you're next.
But I'm still convinced.
6, take 6.
There's just some problems.
Okay,
Chorus.
2, ready 2, get both of them, 2, take 2.
Not by power, not
7, 7, take 7.
but by the Spirit of the living God.
4, take 4.
Not my battle, not
6, I like that. 6, 6, take 6.
by the Spirit
Nice.
of the living,
Turn around.
Spirit of the living God.
7, take 7. 5, take 5. Got them both in there, good.
Verse 3.
Okay, ready 1,
in.
ready 1, take 1.
I've seen a
5,
breakthrough that I can't
2, ready 2, take 2. Keep going in, Ashley, it's beautiful.
I found a healing
4,
hidden in my
4, 4, 4, take 4.
I know a dead man that was wrong.
5, 5, take 5. 1,
And I was
ready 1, take 1. 2, 7, 7, take 7. 6, take 6. 1, take 1. 2, take 2. 4, take 4. 3, 3, take 3.
Breakdown.
1, good job.
Bridge 1.
my fortress, my refuge, still a strong
Okay,
tower,
2,
still
take
a
2.
strong tower. My
That's
helper,
okay, Ian. I didn't-
defender, still a
4,
strong tower,
take
still a
4.
strong tower. Oh,
5,
someone let the people know
ready 5, take 5. 1,
we'll prosper.
Bridge
take
2.
1, 2, 4, 4, take 4. 5, take 5, 6, you're next. 6, take 6. 7, take 7. 2, take 2, 1. 7, take 7. 1, take 1. 6, take 6. 5, take 5. 7, take 7. 1, no, 4, take 4. Ready, 1, take 1. 5, hold still for me. 6, take 6. 1, take 1. 7, take 7. 4, nope. 1, take 1. 2, take 2. 3, take 3. 1, take 1. 7, take 7. 1, take 1. 5, take 5. 4, take 4. 7, take 7. 6, take 6. 1, take 1. 2, take 2. 3, take 3. 4, 4, take 4. 7, take 7. 2, take 2. 5, take 5. 6, 6, take 6. 2, take 2. 7, take 7. 1, take 1. 6, take 6. 2, go in. 2, go in. Take 2. 7, 7, take 7. 1, take 1.
Let's get ready for host.
Okay, we're gonna go to 7. Let's go 2, take 2. Okay, we're gonna end on 7. Ready, 7, take 7. 1, get ready for host. Ready, start speaking. 1, you're
Perfect.
live. Gotta tell you guys, that was fantastic. You all
Heavenly
nailed
Father,
it. All right, we're live on 1.
anything is possible for you.
Do we have Pat?
And we are just so grateful for that you are in control and that we don't have to hold that. So right now, may we open our hands to you, release those things that we are holding on to tightly, that we are trying through our own
Okay, 4.
will
Take
and
4.
intention and force and effort to heal, to mend, to take care of, that only you can. May we release those
Hey,
things
Jimmy,
to
that
you, Lord.
little blue light
Thank
on
you for
4 is
caring
cool.
for us so well. Thank you for being in control so that we
You know, Chuck,
can
that's been
be
there
free
for like a year now.
I know, but it's so
to
cool.
just live
You did
more
something to
fully
it.
in you.
I
You
think
did.
I accidentally turned it off
Thank you
like
for
a
this
month
time
ago,
together.
and I forgot to
In
turn it
Jesus'
back
name we
on.
pray.
So,
Amen.
you know, there's that.
It's all
Good morning,
beautiful. Take
Journey
1.
family. It is so good to see you all.
1's live.
Good morning to those online. We're so glad you logged in with us. First thing we're going to do today
3,
is do a
ready,
little
3,
exercise.
ready, 3. Take 3.
We need to practice this. I want you all to look toward the center of your row, and if there are gaps,
2.
I want you to scoot
Good job.
toward
3.
the center. I
Take
know we
2.
all like the aisle seat, but we don't want people waiting in the wings because they're
5
too
signing off.
nervous to cross over
Okay,
all
5.
those laps.
You know when to be
So
back,
please,
right?
Uchi, Uchi, Uchi
Yes.
to the
All right, thank you,
center.
sir.
Thank
Take
you.
1.
Here at Journey, we love to talk about next steps. We lead people
Okay,
in
Ian, we
becoming
got a slide coming up.
all-in followers of Jesus, and that process involves next steps. There are personal next steps and there are
Nice
corporate
job,
next
Ian.
steps.
Perfect.
So personal next steps might be
2, you want to put
accepting
her on
Jesus
your one,
as your Lord and
your
Savior.
right third,
That's the first next step
right line right
for
there.
anyone who hasn't. It might be reading your Bible or praying or sharing your faith. We all have things that in practicing them makes us a little bit more like Jesus. My own personal next step, knowing that I was going to talk about this with you all, I've been thinking about that. Like, okay, God, what do you want me to do next? Summer comes for me, and it is spontaneous, it is free-flowing, it is sleeping in this day and getting up really early this day, and all of my routine and schedule just go out the window, including the time that I spend with the Lord. Like some days do it in the morning, and sometimes I sneak it in at 3, and sometimes it's 10 p.m., and I'm like, okay, God, I got some time right now. And so for me, personally, he's been laying it on my heart that I need some consistency. I need to get back into a regular rhythm with him. And so that is what I am personally going to be working on this fall, is setting a schedule and finding time so that I know, he knows when he's going to meet with me, but that I know when I am going to spend time getting to know him better. So think about that. What is your personal next step? What is that thing that you should be doing to just get to know Jesus better? We also have the bubbles on the other side. We have the corporate next steps, things that Journey offers you. You all are doing one of those right now, and that's gather. It is really important for us to worship together. Another one is connect. Those are our groups. That is where Journey, this big place with lots of people, starts feeling like family. My husband and I lead a group of 20-year-olds, and I love it. It is the highlight of every week for me. I have 40-some 20-year-old children that I get to speak into their lives, and it is for me absolutely paramount in my week. So if you are not in a group, you can find a group that will just feed your soul. It just gives you those people that you can lean into and love on and share life with and get to know Jesus better alongside. Along those lines, next Sunday, the 8th, after each service, we are going to have a groups fair in the lobby, and we have 30 new groups that are launching.
Slides down.
So if you are not already in a group and you haven't found that family here among Journey people, we highly encourage you to leave a little extra time afterwards so you can walk around and you can meet the leaders of those new groups and find a group that will fit you and your family best. So whether it's a personal next step, whether it's a next step around Journey, we are here for you.
Put
so
it on
fill
your
out a
left
Connect card if
third.
you're not sure what that looks like for you. We would be happy to help you with that. If you know what it is, you could write group. You could write serve. You could write read the Bible, ? And we would love to
Thought
help
my
you
eyes
with
were bad,
those
Caden.
things. So you can fill out that card, and in the comments section, add that if you need help with your next step. Up next,
Take
my
4.
handsome husband is going to be challenging you all with fruits of the Spirit.
Let's go video.
Beautiful.
Apparently my eyes are red. What's wrong?
We're talking about whose eyes were bad. The shot wasn't quite in focus. $30 more seconds on this, and we're going to go to 1.
All right, left. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start speaking.
I want to talk about this morning a paradox that literally is scrambling my brain. All summer, I feel
There you
like
go,
my
Ashley.
brain has
It's
just
looking
been
good.
scrambled eggs, and I've been trying to understand how this paradox works in real life. The paradox involves how do we rationalize or understand the difference between economics and spirituality? And so I just want to dive into those really briefly. Economically,
Gotcha. Thanks.
I was part of a team that went to Ethiopia this summer. And as we got to Ethiopia, the economic difference
3, are
between
you still on
America
comms?
and Addis Ababa, Ethiopia is
Yes, I'm
dramatic.
still on.
And
Okay,
you're
why don't
sitting
you
there
go
saying,
start
yeah,
a
I know
slide
it's
for me?
dramatic. I'm not surprised.
Slide right or
Whatever
slide
you
left, whatever you
think
wanna do.
dramatic is,
Ready? 3. Take 3.
double it, triple it, times 10. The dramatic difference economically between what we experience and what they experience in day-to-day
Ready?
is hard to fathom.
Take 1. Thank you.
But on the other side
4,
of that
you
equation,
put him a little
we
bit.
spent a week with around 100 different Ethiopians. And what we saw in that time there was that the fruits of the Spirit came out
Hey,
of
3,
these
I'll
people
go to you
constantly.
like just a couple
And I think a
times
lot of
during the
times when we
sermon,
think
and I'll
about
just,
that, we might say, oh, you
when
mean
I
like,
say
you know,
ready 3,
occasionally they were
just start your
patient, or
slide,
they
and
were
then I'll
nice,
take your
or
shot once you're
they were
going.
gentle or kind or whatever.
Okay, perfect.
That's not what I mean.
You're doing great, by the way.
What I mean is like all the time, like a rushing river, these attributes of their
4, take
lives
4.
are just pouring out, and you're experiencing that, and you're like, but I don't understand that, because we have economic prosperity, we have comfort and wealth, and you don't, and yet on the fruits of the
2,
Spirit
next.
scale, it almost reverses.
Take
that
2.
in their world, in their lives, the fruits of the Spirit are coming out like those living streams. And in our world,
Take
it's
1.
not that the fruits of the Spirit don't exist. It's just that they aren't the same. They are more like this, just like the economics are like that. And so that paradox, that difference, that has just had me in a quandary.
Well, those
all
new lights are amazing.
summer
That
long,
shot on
trying
4
to
is so much better than
understand
usual.
what that was about. So to begin our conversation
Yeah,
this
that
morning,
side light's
let's
making it
just
good.
define what
It does.
are
It's
the fruits
awesome.
of the Spirit. What do those
that blue light,
look
Jenny,
like?
that's
And to do that, we're going to go to a couple passages, but the most obvious is Galatians chapter 5, verses 22 and 23. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy,
4.
peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control.
Take 4.
Those are the fruits of the Spirit as generally
4 slides.
defined. Paul talks about them in Colossians as well. In Colossians 3, starting in verse 12, he says, therefore, as God's
5
chosen
on 1.
people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves. Think of clothes, right? The thing that people see first. It's the most outward expression of who you are. Clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. And over all these virtues, put on, again, the idea of clothing, put on love, which binds them all together in perfect
You ready?
unity.
3.
And let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts.
Take 3.
Since as members of one body, you were called to peace. Oh, and be thankful. I love Paul's
Take 1.
list.
Good job.
In a lot of traditional sermons, what I would do is spend the rest of our time and I would unpack each of those words and what do they mean and what's the Greek and what does peace mean. But I think I think it's intuitive. Like you know what peace is, you know what patience is. You know when your life is not those things. You know when you lack one of those attributes. It's not something that is a mystery that needs to be solved. So instead, what I would like to do is say, how do we create environments in our lives that allow these attributes to not just perkle up every now and then, to not just be something that's occasional, but to be something like it was in Addis, where
Take 4.
it's
4,
a
you're live.
river that flows out of us and is overwhelming to those around us. Think of it this way. If an
Take 1.
alien came to Earth and he followed me around for a week, at the end of that week, he's been with me driving, he's been with me in family situations, he's been with me at work, he's been with me in all these different environments. At the end of that week, would that alien, when asked, hey, describe Brian, would he use those lists? Would he say, oh man, that is someone who is so compassionate. That is someone who is so kind and so gentle and so loving,
4.
et cetera, et cetera. Would that be my reality? Would that be your reality? Not that it would be, oh, he did a kind thing on Wednesday. Oh,
So
and then
camera 2,
on
until he
Thursday,
writes
there was a
something
moment
up
he
there,
showed
why don't you just
patience.
put him in the center
But
of the
would it be
screen?
something
Otherwise,
that
it looks
just
weird.
is flowing
black
out of us
TV.
naturally all
But I do like
of
the head to
the
toe.
time?
Mix it up,
Because
thanks.
as I perceive our culture, and you may agree or disagree with me, but as
Take 2,
I see our
2's live.
culture, what I see is more doses and pops of those things in and around what we represent
4,
as
coming to
Christ,
you
as
next.
Christians out in the world. I see
Take
doses
4,
of it. I
4's
see
live.
good things happening.
Less headroom, Katie.
But I also see a lot of things
Perfect.
that alien might be following someone around saying, oh, they're pretty bitter. They're pretty anxious. man, I think they're pretty angry of a person. I don't see the fruits of the Spirit that we saw.
Tick one.
So let me give you some context, partly why my brain is so scrambled by this. So we were in Ethiopia one evening. We'd been working with Elevate Orphans / Bring Love In. They're the same organization, different names based on where you are. And we had been working with these kids, these orphans and these widows, and we'd spent all this time with them. And frankly, we were fairly worn out. Like, it had been a very energetic week. It had been exhausting in a lot of different ways. In fact, I think it would be safe to say that we were pretty tired at that moment.
Let's go with the picture.
We were tired as we were driving to dinner that night. You might even say we were really tired as we drove to dinner that night. In fact, I think it would be safe to say we might have been exhausted. Would you like to just see one more example of that fatigue? Now, the ironic thing is, none of those pictures have anything to do with that night. They were just too good from our shared album to not share with you. Like, I really felt like you needed to see them.
4.
But the reality was
Take
we
4.
were tired. But in contrast to the being tired, we had spent all this time with these 100 people that were just emanating the fruits of the Spirit. And you began to see as a group that was rubbing off, and then that was part of it. So this particular night, as we drove to dinner, effectively it was like driving from the airport in Belgrade to MSU's campus. Like 8, 9, 10 miles. Not that far. It took us over 2 hours to travel that distance. The roads are gridlocked. I have recruited in LA, San Francisco, Dallas, New York, Boston, Philly. It isn't even close. It was crazy what traffic was like. One picture to give you an idea of what traffic was like. We're in a roundabout right here in this picture. Sarah is reaching out. Notice she just casually has her arm out the passenger window. She is touching the car next to her in the roundabout. It's a 3-lane roundabout with 5 lanes of cars side by side, just packed. It's absolutely insane what this traffic is like. And you and I know what that's like. We've all been in that situation. What happens when you're in that situation? You get frustrated and angry. It is so annoying. Can you imagine 2 hours to get from the airport to MSU? That would drive you insane. Yet we had been around these kids that had rubbed off, and you saw a group of people that were like these pictures. They were patient and kind. They were laughing. We were joking. We were having a good time. Even though we're in 2 hours of traffic, there was playfulness and playfulness in what we were doing. And it was moments like that that had me just like, how's that even possible? How is it possible that we could be in that situation? Because I know if we had done that 2 weeks earlier and it had taken us 2 hours to go 10 miles, we would have been pulling our hair out. Those of us that have it would have been pulling our hair out constantly. But it got me thinking, what are the secrets to nurturing those fruits of the Spirit? How do we create environments in our lives, intentionally create environments where those things can come out of us as they ought to? And so as I've been home, I've been praying about it, reading about it, studying things, looking at all kinds of different scriptures and other writers and readers. I've met with people. We've talked about it. In fact, we have a thing called the Preaching Collective.
Take 2.
A couple weeks before you present, we get together with a bunch of people on our staff, and we have a conversation. We kind of sharpen up what we're going to say and how it makes sense and make sure it's clear. And I asked that group, I said, if you were going to come up with environments that would create a nurturing situation for the fruits of the Spirit, what would that look like? And I had 2 things in mind based on my own research, my own experience, the things that I had thought about. And the 8 people in that room began to offer thoughts. And I was just writing those down. And they basically filed into 2 lists that absolutely matched the things that I had been reading and studying and wanting to share with you since I got back from Ethiopia. And so what I want to talk about is 2 really practical ways. Now, not easy, but to really practical ways that we can create environments that will allow the fruits of the Spirit to be nurtured in our life. Now, obviously, God is the one who builds that up, but we can do things. We have a part to play in that. It's not just his job to make us patient. We have a role to play. But as I submit these two ideas to you, I have to warn you that I believe if we are going to actually play them out, if we are actually going to be people that aliens would follow around and say, oh my goodness, that person is so kind, so gentle, so compassionate, that it overwhelms them.
Take 4.
That as we do these two things, we are likely going to have to be a bit unreasonable about how we do them. Like, it's not going to be something that we can just kind of half-heartedly think about. I think we're going to have to get really, really uncomfortable and really unreasonable as we act this out. So the first thing
Ashley,
that
get me your
I'm
frame
going
on the
to
TV.
suggest we need to do
Good job,
is
3.
we need
Ready, 2.
to
Take 2. Nice job.
simplify
Love it.
life. We need to simplify life. Now, Paul, in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, he does is he calls this living the quiet life. That's how he outlines it in 1 Thessalonians 4. But one of the things that I think you need to recognize or realize is the complexity of the lives that we live that is just natural for us. It's not something that we would think, oh, this is actually very complicated because it's so normative in our world. But it is so complex that I believe it inhibits our ability to live out the fruits of the Spirit. One example of that would just be around stuff. Okay?
4. Take
Those
4.
Ethiopians that we were around, they could fit everything they own in a backpack. Their clothes, their shoes, their books, everything they've got in a backpack. That's a simple life. And I'm not saying that we need to live a life of a backpack and that's everything we've got. But just for context, in the United States, we spend $38 billion annually, not on stuff, on storage units. $38 billion. That's 1/3 of the GDP of Ethiopia. $38 billion. That's how much stuff we have. We might be able to cut back slightly.
Take 2.
I think that might be an option. We could simplify our lives around our stuff if we chose to.
Take 1.
Jesus kind of talks about simplicity of life when he's engaging with his disciples in Matthew chapter 18.
Lights are amazing.
Last
time I'll say
it says that
4,
he called
4,
the little child to him and placed the child among them, the disciples. And he said, truly I tell you, unless you change
Ready, 3.
and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Little children live a simple life, right? They don't have a lot of stuff. They don't even have to make a lot of decisions. Do you realize how many decisions we have to make? Like, decisions fill your brain and complicate your life tremendously. Give you an example. In Ethiopia, if you would like to order a cup of coffee, you have 2 choices: cream or sugar. That's it. Like, that's probably what it was in the United States several years ago. Cream or sugar, 2 decisions. That's it. Do you realize, if you walk into Starbucks, like, you've got to decide what kind of drink you want, whether you want it hot or cold, what kind of milk. Wait a minute, what kind of milk? Like, how is there more than one kind of milk? How do you milk an almond? These are things that are probably for another sermon. But think about Starbucks' own website says that they make over 170,000 different combinations of drinks in their restaurants. That means when you walk in to order a coffee, you have to make decision after decision after decision. That's not the case in most of the world. And that complexity fills our mind. It takes up brain space. It takes up hard drive space, if you will, in our lives.
Actually, a little bit to your left.
Another difference between a simple and a complex life is the idea of wants.
Take 4.
There's a Harvard business professor, and he talks about happiness.
Take 2.
Joy and satisfaction. And he labels it as haves and wants. Arthur C. Brooks is his name. And he draws this math equation
Take
that
one.
says if your haves exceed your wants, the more that is the case, the higher your satisfaction, joy, and happiness will be in life. As an example, in Ethiopia,
3. Ready?
let's
3.
say somebody might have 100 items,
Take 3.
100 things, but their wants are really low. That's the thing you realize when you get there.
1.
Even though we would say
ready,
they live in
1,
abject
take 1.
poverty, and they do by worldwide standards, we don't
2.
realize that their wants are very low. They just don't want that new boat. That's not a thought. They don't want the new 65-inch television at Costco. Like, they're not thinking about that. So their joy and their satisfaction, their happiness is really high because their haves are so much higher than their wants. How about our culture? We have a lot.
2.
We also
Take
want
2.
even more. We want a lot. That's why we have an economy based on consumer spending.
4. Take 4.
We have so many wants. Think about it. We might have 1,000 haves. We might have 2,000 or 3,000 wants.
Ready?
And that disparity creates
Still on
a little
4.
bit of explanation of the paradox of the economics versus the spirituality, because they are
Take
so
1.
happy because they focus on what they have, not what they want. And when you have a lot of wants, that drives a lot of decisions in your life. You need that new boat, you got to work a little bit more, work a little harder, pick up a side hustle, pick up a second side hustle, do this, do that. And it drives the way we live out our lives, this idea of our wants. If we can live a simple life that moves us where haves exceed wants, we can be happier, joyful, more satisfied as people. When you live that simple life, when you
2,
begin to
2.
express that and live that out,
Take 2.
you create margin. A simple life is a life that has margin. Now, margin is really significant
4,
now,
take
I
4.
understand, as it relates to the fruits of the Spirit. Because
Ready,
it's
1,
very
take
difficult
1.
for the fruits of the Spirit to come out in your life when it's just nonstop, go,
3.
go. And all you do is go, sleep,
Take
go,
3.
go, sleep. There's never an opportunity for growth. Now, I know the vast majority of you in this room
Take 1.
lack margin. How do I know that? Because I stand out there every Sunday before and after 9 and 11. And we talk, and some of those conversations last 5 seconds, some of them last 5 minutes. But as we talk, I'll tell you
4.
the 2 things I hear most often.
Ready,
Now, this is
4.
from a bunch of
Take 4.
Christian believers.
4 is
The
left.
things I hear most often, I am so busy and I am so tired. Those 2 things scream that you lack margin.
2. Take 2.
True? Is that fair? I'm so busy, I'm so tired. In fact, in our culture, in American culture, to not be so busy, to not be tired, actually speaks negatively about you as a person. Like
Take
there
1.
is a badge of honor to
1 side.
walk into a room, a social environment of people, and be like, man, I'm tired because, man, I am working so hard. I am so busy. Is it not? Is that not true? Like there's actually a badge of honor that comes with that. And that lack of margin doesn't produce an opportunity for us to grow and cultivate the fruits of the Spirit in our lives. If you go back to Ethiopia, that's not their situation. Like that's one of the most beautiful things we were able to witness in country. They have margin. They have lots of margin. Now, maybe some of that is why the economic disparity exists. And that's maybe a fair thing. But if the economic disparity is that, but the spiritual disparity on this side is this, who wins?
Take 2. 2's
We
left.
might have more stuff, we might have more comfort, but if they are exceedingly generous in the fruits of the Spirit, if they represent what Jesus represented, I'm not sure that we're winning that battle.
Take 1.
But it's not just enough to create margin. See, that's the thing that we realized coming back. It's not just enough to create margin, because all margin does in American culture generally is create
3.
leisure,
Ready, 3.
right? Like we create margin
Take
for
3.
leisure, which is, leisure is not a bad thing. Vacations aren't a bad thing. That's not what I'm saying. But there is a point in time where we need to look at the margin
Ready,
we create and say,
2,
how
ready,
am I going
1,
to use
ready,
that margin?
1,
If I
take 1.
commit to a simplified life and I do create margin, what am I going to do
5 on
with that
1.
margin? And this is what you see
2, take
in
2.
their world. They take that margin and they invest it in relationship. They take that margin and they invest it in relationships. Let me ask you
Take
this.
1.
If it was Saturday morning, a fall Saturday, beautiful fall Saturday, kind of
4.
like today. I'm not sure if it's fall or summer yet. Some of you are wearing Hawaiian shirts. I like that. You're trying to hold on to summer. Good play. But it's a fall Saturday.
Still on 1.
You don't have to work. You got no obligations, no family obligations, no nothing. The day is yours. You can do absolutely anything you want. In your mind's eye, what would you do at that time? We were in Ethiopia, and we'd finished our time
4.
with Elevate Orphan. We had spent
4.
the week with that group of people, and we were going across town to the poorest district in Addis Ababa called Kora. And we
Take
were going to spend
2.
time with some people and some kids and some different things in the Kora district of Addis. And as we were doing that, we
Ready,
realized
1.
that in that district,
Still
it's
on 2.
probably likely that the English is going to be much harder to come by, that there's going to be less people speaking English. And so we asked the director of Bring Love In if we could take 2 of the older kids with us that would be useful for translating, because they could take the Amharic that the nationals speak and they could translate it to English and back and forth. And he was like, great, no problem. And so we took Yipsida and Ruth. Now, Ruth is who I want to talk about. Here's a picture of Ruth. She is, what side is that? That side of Sarah holding the camera. Ruth is just finished her 2nd year at university. She's a business major, super smart, unbelievably good at English, just an absolute joy to be around. But after we spend this whole day in the Kora district and we're going back to drop Ruth at her house back all the way across town, I happen to be sitting near her,
Ready, 3.
and I just asked her a question because I was just curious. I had really
Take
had
3.
no expectations or ideas, but I just asked her, like, Ruth, you just gave up effectively a whole Saturday. You could have done anything. You're on break from school. You know, you didn't have to work today. Like, you could have
Take
done
1. Good job.
anything with your time. Ruth, what would you do if you hadn't come with us and translated? And I thought, oh, man, you know, I had in my mind what I would have been doing if I was in her shoes. And her answer was immediate, like no pause, boom. She's like, well, there's a 6 to 9-year-old house that has a lot of new orphans that have come from the government orphanages and are now spending their days in this house at Bring Love In. And she said, what I would have done if I had not come with you is I would have gone to that house, because you know why? Those kids don't know me. And I've gone through the whole program, and I'm now at university, but they don't know me, and I don't know them. And I would have spent my whole day just playing with them, getting to know them, spending time with them, so that they would know me,
Take
and
2.
I would know them. And I felt terrible, because I would have gone golfing, and I would, like, she's like 20 years old, but
4,
the
take
fruits of
4.
the Spirit are just rolling out of her.
4 is live.
Why? Because she lives a really simple life where she has plenty of margin. And when she has margin, her very first thought is, how do I invest that in other people? How do
Take
I
1.
invest that in relationships? That's her very first thought. And I think we can learn a lesson from a 20-year-old Ethiopian university student. That's not my first thought. I'm just going to be really honest with you. But I think it probably ought to be. My first thought ought not to be, how do I pleasure myself? How do I get leisure time? How do I do the things I want to do? But maybe my first thought ought to be, how can I serve someone? How can I love someone well in that moment? Back to Galatians 5. So Paul lists the fruits of the Spirit down in 22, 23. Right before that, he lists the don't list, the don't do this, this, and this. But right before that, 3 different times,
4.
he has examples of things as he sets up the difference between the don't-doers and the do-doers as he sets that up. I'm going to give you one of those examples. Galatians 5:13. You, my brothers and sisters,
Ready,
were
4.
called to
Take
be
4.
free. But
3.
do not use
Ready,
your
3.
freedom to indulge in the flesh.
Take
Do
3.
not use your freedom to indulge in your wants. Do not use your freedom to indulge in
7 back
yourself.
2.
Rather,
ready, 2.
serve one
ready,
another
4. Take 4.
humbly in love.
Got you,
For
7.
the
Thank you.
entire law is fulfilled in
We're live
keeping
on
this
4.
one command. Love your neighbor as yourself. And as I
Take 1.
was reading that, I just couldn't help but think of Ruth. Like, how amazing is her thought process? And if we're really honest, I
2.
think,
Take 2.
and we're self-respective, we go, that is not our culture. And I'm not here to badmouth America in any way. We live in an unbelievable nation. We have so many privileges and blessings. But our cultural identity is actually more around individualism than it is around how do I serve others, how do I bless others, how do I love others well.
Take
And
1.
I'm wondering, in hindsight, thinking back on these experiences, is that individualism in conflict? Does that individualism drive economic growth? Yeah. Yeah, it does amazing things in our economic system. But does it drive spiritual growth? Does it drive fruits of the Spirit in our lives? And I'm here to say I don't know that it does. I think that we need to take an inventory and think about how that plays out in each of our own lives. How do I cultivate that environment where I live a simplified life
2.
that
Take
creates
2.
margin that allows me to invest in others the way that Jesus did that?
4.
It makes me
Take
think
4.
sometimes
4 is
we
live.
have to be okay with
3,
looking at
ready, 3.
ourselves and looking at our own culture and saying,
Take
does this
3.
mesh with what we are taught in Scripture?
Ready, 1.
This moment makes
Nice,
me think of
smooth.
Isaiah
Good job.
chapter 55.
Take 1.
For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so my ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts. Sometimes we have to
Take 2.
recognize and
2's
submit
live.
ourselves and say, you know what? The way that
4, take
our
4.
culture says I ought to live, the way I ought to go about my day and my business and my priorities
1.
might just be in conflict. And maybe
Take 1.
what I'm called to as a believer is a simplified life that creates margin, that moves me to a place where I can invest in people and the fruits of the Spirit can emanate in my life. Think about it. You want to be more patient.
Take 1. Or
That
take
ain't
2,
happening
sorry.
when you're sitting at home alone watching a football game. You're not more patient in that environment. But get in lives of people. And people will do one of 2 things for you if you want to be a more patient person.
We're on 2.
1, you will run into people that are patient and you'll be like, how do I mirror that? How do I follow what they do? How do I learn from that person? The other side of it, this happens a lot.
4.
You're going to run into people that test your patience.
Take 4.
But you can't get more patient unless you're being tested in your patience, and that comes around people. That's why
Take
this
1.
investment in relationships is so key, because these Ethiopian children and staff members of Bring Love In, they are investing in people. They are investing in relationships, and
3.
because of that, they are gentle, and they
Take
are
3.
kind, and they are compassionate, and it just oozes out every pore in their life. And as Christians, we want to live a life like Jesus lived. We
Take
want
1.
to imitate our Savior. I would challenge you, go back and read the Gospels. Read them just fresh and new, one time. Start in Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Read the 4 Gospels. And as you read them, have this image in your mind. Did Jesus
Take 2.
live and promote a simple life? Did Jesus have margin? And when Jesus had margin, what did he do with that margin? And you will see over and over again, he invested it in relationship. He invested it in people. If we want to be like Jesus, I think this might be something that would be helpful in the context of our culture.
Take one.
So as I finish up, I want to be really, really practical. I want to be really practical because I don't want to throw out
7, you're glitching. Otherwise,
like these
I'd take that.
ideas, but not have a step, a tangible thing that you could do if you're at any one of these stages of your own personal walk. As Kristen was talking about, like your next step. So first, let's talk about a simplified life.
Take 2.
If you recognize it, my life's not simple. My life is complicated. My life is every which way and 27 times
4.
busier than it should be.
4.
I would ask you or offer up to you to read a book, like a book. You can get it on your Kindle. It's called Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer. We've
Pick
talked
one.
about it before. I read it a couple years ago. Okay, here's what happened when I read the book, good or bad. I read the book and I did an inventory on my time. I started thinking about, where does my time go? I am so busy. I am so tired.
Got probably
Where does
5
my
minutes
time
left
go?
of the sermon.
And as I did that inventory, one of the things that really stood out
But
to
the
me was how
timer
much time I
says
spent
3.
on fantasy football.
Think you might go long.
This is not a statement that is prescriptive. I am not telling you what to do. I am
Somebody get Caden a cup of
describing
coffee.
what happened when I did this inventory. So anyone who loves fantasy football, don't send me an email.
Camera 6 on comms.
As I
you
started
6.
looking at my fantasy football consumption, I realized, you set your lineup on Wednesday or Thursday for those that partake. And then there's a
Thanks,
game on
Todd.
Thursday night, and almost always you have somebody playing or your opponent has somebody playing, so you have to watch the game. And then there's games later in the season on Saturdays,
2.
Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, Monday night. But that's not all, because then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you got to read all the articles,
Already
watch all
3.
the videos, understand what's happening, who got hurt, who's playing well, who's not playing well.
Take
like
3.
you've got to get it set up so you can set your lineup again. And that happens for 17 straight weeks. That's a lot of time. So I realized I needed to set that aside. So I stopped playing fantasy football
Take
about
2.
3 years ago. And it was because of this stupid book. So read the book.
4.
But now let's move to the next step,
Still in
right?
2,
I
still in
created
2.
some margin in my week because I dropped fantasy football. Quite frankly, I probably created quite a few hours.
Take 1.
But what do you do with that, right? Because that's the key. It's not I'm going to create margin for margin's sake. What did I do with that time? It was about the same time that I came on staff here at Journey. And so what I did with those hours that would have gone to fantasy football that year and every year since is I invested in our 20s ministry. Kristen and I started that 20s ministry. We've got a bunch of small groups that meet. If you are 20, you walked in today, someone was trying to give you a flyer. That's because you look like you need community as a 20-year-old, and we want to help provide that. So we have small groups, we have large group, we have all kinds of things going on. In fact, this Tuesday, 7:15 in base camp, shameless plug, 20s large group. Love to have you there if you're in your 20s. If you're 30 or 40, don't come. But what I did in that time that was created
Thanks,
from
1.
dropping fantasy football is
4
I
coming to
invested
you.
that
A little less headroom, Caden.
into relationships with 20-somethings.
Take
And
4.
it has been so great. I don't know if I have made a scotch of difference with any of their lives, but they've
33.
made an amazing impact on mine.
Take 3.
And that happens because I created margin. See, if I didn't drop fantasy football, in my case, again, not your case, my case, if I had not dropped the fantasy football, I wouldn't have had the
Take 2.
time to invest in those 20-somethings. So that's the way I invested in relationships. But let's talk about how you might invest in relationships. And you've heard it already this morning, but we have a ton of Journey communities.
Take
If you are
1.
not in a smaller group,
Jane is getting ready for pad.
I just cannot tell you how much you need to prayerfully consider that. That is the area where you're going to learn the fruits of the Spirit. You're going to get around people that will test your patience. You are going to get around people that force you to be kind when you don't want to be kind off a bad day. And that's a good thing. That is going to grow the fruits of the Spirit in your life. We've got over 30 new groups starting. We've got existing groups that have space that you can get involved in. And if you're sitting there saying, well, I don't know if there's a group for me. Well, there are college-age groups starting this fall for the first time. That's awesome. 20s, men's groups, women's groups, adult groups with kids, adult groups, no kids. You can even get geographic groups. You want a group in Ennis or Three Forks or wherever, we got a group for you. We would love to help you get in a group. Next Sunday,
3, ready,
September
3?
8th, we are having a groups fair. Outside is going to be table after table of leaders standing there going, join my group, otherwise I feel
Take
awkward.
3.
So go up to them, meet them, sign up for their group. You can do it
1,
on
2.
the
Ready, 2,
spot,
take
and you
2.
can be off and running. And you can begin to invest in relationships. If you're in a group, get on a serve team. Invest in relationship. Invest in
1,
people.
take 1.
If we want to live a life like Jesus, if we want to pour out, I think we're going to need to simplify some things and create margin. And then from that, we're going to have to invest in relationships. And if we do that, I think we can take this massive economic
Take
thing,
2.
and instead of it being a paradox where another country has the fruits of the Spirit and we're low on that, we could rise to that level. And we could live that out in this community and around our area. Will you pray with me?
Take 1.
Father God,
Okay, we're
am
wrapping up here,
excited
team.
of
Next
what you are
song
doing here and
is
in this
for
valley, what
Holy
you're doing
Forever.
in
So
Ethiopia,
Tess
what
leads
you're doing
this.
in Bangladesh. And I
4,
ask,
give me
Lord,
guitars and
that
the
you would
drummer through
convict
Caleb's
us, that your
arm
Spirit would
again.
be upon us, and it would challenge us
Camera
to
1,
do
when
the
I
thing
go
next
off you, you're going to be on
that you are
Tess.
calling us to do,
2,
regardless
go tight
of
on
how
Tess and come back
uncomfortable
out.
or
7, if
unreasonable
you
that
could,
thing
lead
is.
vocals through the
I pray,
crowd.
Lord,
It would
that
be
you
awesome.
would convict us
Just
to
a reminder
take
to
that
preview
next
first
step,
camera
that
hit
we
start
would
worship when it's
honor
time.
you, that we would honor the people we are in
Thank
and
you.
around because you loved us first. We pray this in Jesus'
All right, ready,
name.
3, ready, 3.
Amen. Would you please stand as we continue to worship?
1,
Take 3.
2.
Beautiful
Intro,
3s live. I
2,
love it, 3. I
3,
love it.
4.
Ready, 6. Take 6.
Intro.
3, ready, 3. Take 3. Ready, 7.
Verse 1.
Ready, 7. Ready, 7. Take 7. Okay, 2. Ready, 2. Take 2.
Sing a song of ages to the Lamb.
7. Take 7.
All who've gone
A little less headroom, Jason. Perfect right there.
and all who will believe.
2 go. Let's do that again. Ready, 1. Ready, 1. Ready, 1.
Ages to the Lamb.
Pre-chorus.
Take
Drums
1.
in.
Your name
Ready,
is the
5.
highest. Your name
Take 5.
is
Ready,
great.
6.
Your name
Ready, 1. Take 1.
stands
6.
above them all.
Take 6.
All thrones
7. Take 7.
dominions, all powers and positions. Your name
2. Take 2.
stands above them
Chorus
all.
Ready,
1.
1. Take 1.
Breakdown.
Angels cry,
2. Let's go in tight. Come back out. 4.
creation cry,
2. Ready, 2.
holy,
Take 2.
you are
Over to Brandon, 2.
lifted high,
Coming in slow. Perfect.
holy,
1. Take, oh, 7. Take 7.
holy forever.
6.
Verse
Take
2.
6.
Drums in.
If you've been
5. Take 5. 4. Take 4.
Sing a song forever to the Lamb.
It's nice. 1. Take 1.
You walk in freedom, and if you bear His name,
Ready, 3. Take 3.
sing a song forever to the Lamb.
Tag.
Ready, 1. Take 1.
Build.
7. Give me
We'll
her if
sing
you
a
can.
song
Ready, 7.
forever and
Ready, 7. Take 7.
let the
Nice.
angels cry,
2. Take 2.
holy,
Ready, 1. Take 1. 4. Go back. 4. Ready, 4. Take 4.
holy, you are lifted high.
6. Take 6. 1. Take 1. 4. Take 4. 1. 7. Take 7. 2. Take 2. 6. Hold that. 6. Take 6. 7. Take 7. 1. Take 1. Okay, 2 going tight. Come back out. 5, ready, 5, 5. Take 5, 2. Take 2, 4. Take 4. 5. Take 5. Okay, I'm gonna go to 7, then 6. I guess I'm not going to 7. 1, take 1. 5. Take 5, 6. Take 6, 4. Take 4. 1. Take 1. 7. Take 7. 5. Take 5. 6. Take 6. 1. Take 1. 7. Take 7. 3. Take 3. 5. Take 5. 4. 1. Take 1. 6 coming to you. 6. Take 6. Those lights. Oh my gosh. 7. Take 7. 2. Keep going. 2. Take 2. 4. Take 4. Keep going. 4. Beautiful. 1. Take 1. 6. Take 6. Okay, here we go. 7. Take 7.
Chorus 1.
1. Take 1. 2. Let's go back to 4. Take 4. 7. You're going to stay there. I'm going to end with you. 7. Take 7.
Ending.
1. Get ready for a
Ready for
host.
close.
Hold it. 7. Focus pull. 7. 1. All right, we are on 1. We are on Brian. No microphone. Looking at his cargo pants for his microphone. Here we go.
Let's make sure vocal effects are out.
Couple of other guys. Boy, that's a good thing I didn't have 5 minutes.
Awesome. Love recoveries,
hey,
folks.
Couple reminders. Number 1, if you're new
I
around
can't hear
here,
him
we'd love to
either.
connect with you. You can
Crank
use
it, Hudson.
the Connect card, QR code on screen,
Turn
or
it up.
outside both doors.
Use the
there's
vocal fader,
tables
main
for new
fader.
people to just meet someone. You can find out what we're about and what's going on around Journey.
Crank it louder, louder, louder,
Second
louder.
reminder comes around generosity. Kristen talked about next steps. And for some of
2.
you, your next step
Take
is to
2.
get involved in giving and get generous. And those of you that are part of that, we thank you so much.
Use camera
But
1
we
so we don't
always
see
wanna
Brandon.
provide a place where you can take the next step that's
Take
appropriate
4.
for
4,
where
you're live.
you're at in your journey with
Ooh,
Christ.
hello.
Also, if you need prayer for any reason whatsoever at the
That's a take
ends
shot. Can we use
of the
camera 1?
stage, right after I finish up, there will be people that would love to pray with you and talk with you, hear your story, help you in whatever way they can. And finally, next weekend is going to be a lot of fun. It is going to be.
Jimmy, you wanna put the
kids are gonna
slides up,
be on
por
water
favor?
not water
Thank you.
slides, bounce
My,
houses.
my finger was
and
reaching for the button.
You're going to be signing up for groups. We're going to have a
Like
great
great minds
time.
think
So
alike.
look
Oh,
forward to seeing you.
oh, it's loud
Journey,
up
have a
here.
great week.
Let's go song
All
credits.
right, we're going to go song credits. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slides. Boom. All right, everybody, fantastic job. We'll see you upstairs in about 5 minutes. 5 minutes? 5 minutes. Nice job. Bye.
Good job, everybody. We'll huddle upstairs in 5.
Okay. Camera 1 getting outcomes. Seven's off.
Hey, Kevin, do I stop the recording, stop streaming button? Jimmy? Anybody?